Here again with my final Breaking Bad Season 1 episode review video. Before I get into that, though, pretty important. If you are caught up to the point where I am, or rewatching or watching Breaking Bad, or you're just not entirely sure, then you definitely need to take the initiative and pay attention to the episode's title, which, of course, I'll mention as well as put in the description. If that happens to be the case, you're not caught up, it would be my recommendation that you don't watch this video any further to avoid any potential spoilers. And join me on this journey of rewatching this amazing show and discussing it in the comments section. This will be Breaking Bad Season 1, Episode 7, the Season 1 finale. The title of this episode is called A No Rough Stuff Type Deal. And this will be my review, reaction, recap after just finishing watching the episode. The DEA is having a meeting at the school due to the fact that the janitor, Mr. Archuleta, was potentially involved with stealing stuff from the lab, although they don't really think it was him. Walt rubs Skyler's leg and other things during this meeting. The principal thanks Walt for attending the meeting, even though he's on leave. Walt goes over the items missing from the lab. And then after that, Walt and Skyler have sex in the car after the meeting, and Skyler says it was so damn good. There's a showing on Jesse's house. Walt comes to see the owner, he tells them, and he asks how Jesse's feeling. He tells him he visited him in the hospital, and Jesse says, yeah, Skinny Pete told me that you were there. And Jesse's selling the house due to not being able to take a shit without thinking about Crazy 8 and Emilio. Jesse is upset that Walt didn't talk to him before making the deal with Tuco Salamanca. Walt and Skyler meet with Walt's doctor. Skyler shares with Walt's doctor that the sex slash foreplay is actually better now. Walt and Jesse go to the junkyard to meet with Tuco for the big sale. Jesse isn't very fond of meeting in a junkyard. He wants to go to some taco place. Tuco Salamanca arrives, and Walt, unfortunately, has to let him know that he's short on the product. Walt says he wants all of it, up front, $70,000, and Tuco can't believe it, but he's willing to wait and front the money, but they'll owe interest. Walt says he can do 4 pounds, and Walt says they won't need pseudo. And Jesse gives, or Walt gives Jesse a shopping list. He has a new formula that he's going to cook where Sudafed is in the main ingredient. It's the baby shower time. Marie says she's going to look just as good in 20 years when the baby watches this video. And Marie's calling the baby Esmeralda. Skyler says that's not happening. And the baby's name will be Holly, as Walt records a video message for Holly, knowing that most likely he will not be around when in 20 years when Holly watches this video. And Marie gets Skyler a gold baby tiara for a baby shower gift. Hank and Walt go outside and have some of the hard stuff. And Walt even smokes a cigar. And Hank's like, are you sure that's good for you? He's like, got cancer already. It's not going to make it any worse. These are illegal, aren't they? Yeah. Sometimes forbidden fruit tastes the sweetest, Hank says. Skyler can't get over the baby shower gift, that baby gold tiara that Marie had bought her for the baby, and thinks she might return it. Walt mentions something to Skyler about going to a sweat lodge to be able to get away for some time so he can do other things. Jesse does a good job getting the items on the shopping list that Walt gave him, aside from methylamine. That was the hard thing to get. Only can get it from a chemical supply place. And Jesse knows 2 dudes that would steal some, but they want to get paid a lot of money. And Walt says, why don't we just steal it ourselves? Walt's going to use thermite in a Etch-a-Sketch to cut through any lock that they are most likely to find. Turns out the tiara that Marie got Skyler was stolen. The manager of the store calls the police, and Skylar tells them that she feels like she's being held hostage. So they think she stole the golden baby tiara, when in fact it was Marie. So Skylar's able to get out of this, and Skylar calls Marie and leaves a message to call her immediately. And she mentions the store that she's at. Walt and Jesse are cut a fence open, and then they are able to trap the guard in the porta potty. Walt sparks the thermite, and the lock does indeed break. Chemistry, yeah, Mr. White, go! They are able to steal a 40-gallon drum of methylamine. The next day they have problems starting the RV, so they decide to take the meth downstairs and cook it in Jesse's basement. And Jesse calls the real estate agent lady to tell her not to come today. She doesn't answer, so he leaves a message. Skylar confronts Marie about the stolen tiara. Why would you do such a thing? Somebody wants to see the basement, and Jesse tells, because the lady never checked her voicemail apparently, so she has showings of the house, and somebody wants to see the basement, and Jesse tells them to beat it, the house is not for sale, and get the hell out. Walt arrives home after his busy day of cooking with Jesse. The sweat lodge was definitely an experience, he tells Skylar. Skylar tells Walt the tiara that Marie got them for Holly was stolen. Walt asks Skylar, what would you do if it were me, if I stole something? And Skylar, well, that wouldn't happen, because, And then Walt and Jesse meet with Tuco, and he gives Tuco the product that was promised, but this time it's blue. And Tuco's like, wait, what's this shit? He's like, it's a different ingredient we had to use because we were out of a certain product. It's just as potent. And Jesse's like, it's the bomb, I believe he says. So Tuco, of course, sniffs some of it on his knife. Tight, yeah, whatever, yeah. And he's really happy. What'd I say? This guy can cook. And Nodos, one of Tuco's henchmen, says, remember who you work for. And this actually pisses Tuco Salamanca off. Like, he doesn't need him to speak his mind for him. And Walt, he's getting really agitated. And Walt tells Tuco to relax, as he's really pissed about this. And Tuco actually proceeds to beat the crap out of him to his death. Says, next week, Eisenberg. Walt and Jesse are glad he didn't go crazy on them. And that is what ends the season and the episode. So no more season 1 of Breaking Bad. It was okay. I obviously, this season finale is kind of a weird finale because I don't think the show thought it would be going on, and it almost did get canceled because the ratings for Breaking Bad were not that great. I'm going to give this episode an 8.4 out of 10. The real finale of this season is actually Season 2, Episode 2, in my opinion. And then as far as our male character of the episode, well, we know Walt mainly steals the show in every episode, but this one, I'm going to give Tuco Salamanca recognition as the male character of the episode, because what we saw from him was just great. And our female character of the episode, well, we got Marie and we got Skylar. I'm going to give it to Skylar in this particular episode. So, good stuff. Obviously, it could have been a lot better, and we do have another episode that fits as a better finale for this season. So, Season 2, Episode 2, I think, is the Season 1 finale, even though it happens in Season 2. So, you've heard what I have to say. Now it's your turn. If you're a fan of Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul, or El Camino, a Breaking Bad movie, and want to help me out with the YouTube algorithm, make sure that you Hulk smash that like button, share the video with a friend, put this video on any one of your social media platforms. Don't forget to sound off in the comment section about what your thoughts are. If you remember the episode, if you want to score it, and whom would be your male and female character of the episode, or just one character is fine. And then last but certainly not least, don't forget to hit that sub button, subscribe to the channel, join the team, show your damn support, and be a part of something special. And JDev will return.